Yes, yes, yo, you don't stop. Big John come rocking his short shot, baby. Man, it is the last live stream of the first half. It looks like we made it. Corked Stats, the fastest freaking show in MLB, absolutely anywhere. With you fucking boy, yo. Big Johnny Stud coming to you worldwide. Brooklyn, New York, as always. Coming out the damn chair, as always. What's going on, mi gente? Usual suspects up in the PC Diddy. Oh, Wagwan. What's going on, you damn thief? No block. Sam B, of course. Thank you, as always, for the support, my friends. Remember, baseball's version 300. Give the book nothing. Take from that bitch everything.
This is Sparta!
You're damn right, Leonidas. Doing pretty good. We're right around, 5% ROI, but I am extremely proud of that. We're giving away any edge we have. We're firmly giving away. Find out what all the fucking hubbub is about, yo. Sign up to the Substack. Check out my work on Twitter at John Legaza Flow. Sharpening a damn razor. Football stuff hot and heavy, too, man. I never even pumped this shit. I have a waiver column at The Athletic. I'm hosting Fantasy Football Weekly, America's longest running fantasy football radio show, over on iHeart. That's on all your free feeds, as we make the kind of transfer over, but I ain't taking my foot off the MLB pedal. All right, people, let's show them what it's all about. Enough for the Faccia Bruta. Best part of waking up. Pitching sheets in the mug. All right, we got 15 plus 1 today. Ay, ay, ay. So there is a doubleheader. Weirdly enough, it wasn't listed on books. We'll deal with the Milwaukee stuff later. Funny, I kind of have a very flipped opinion. I think we're going to get one shootout and one low-scoring game. But let's dive into the thing. You know what? I'm going to try and keep it quick. I am leaving for VA tomorrow, so I'm going to try and keep all the work best I can on schedule. Tomorrow is what it is. I'm going to be gone. So I'm going to try and rack everything as far as I can take it. And then you kind of get what you get. You don't get upset. I wouldn't be betting Sunday at all. I had half a mind to not even do all the data stuff. There's going to be weird people going to be getting benched and lineups and shit. We're already starting to see these ghost ILs. Just pump the brakes on the last day. You don't need to bet the last day. It's probably a perfect day to try and hit the lotto, right? Just try and hit like a fucking crazy lotto on $1, make them holler. Let's go. Ryan Johnson on the bump for the Halos. They're pretty heavy dogs in the road in Minnesota with good reason against Joey Ryan and the Twinks. Oh, that game yesterday sucked. We did have a loser yesterday. I like to be transparent. It was a small loser. Oh, I don't know if you saw it. Oh, fucking Twins, you motherfucker. Oh, that sucked. They were down one, second and third, one out, bottom 7, thought we had them. Womp, womp, no, we're good. And then bottom of the 9th, man on second, right? Larnack doubled, Coney Clemens up. He smoked that fucking ball. Larnack, I'm sorry, not Larnack, Shinwell on the Angels made a fucking sick play. That was our run right there. I mean, them's the breaks. It is what it is. But man, we were really close to keeping the fucking hot stuff going. And the Braves, we were looking pretty good. Sale was humming. They got stopped on the delay, and we lost to the bullpen, of course, where we had the fucking edge. Anyway, that shit fucking happens. So I like Ryan Johnson. Conditional picks and prospect pedigree, still really young, only 23 years old. So I think the market is kind of shitting on him, making the Twins a minus 180 favorite. We've seen how these things go. This is now Joe Ryan quite a bit better than Zabby Matthews, but it's also reflected in the price. Keep in mind, it's going to be really hot in Minnesota, and I don't know if I really give a crap. The Angels' offense still sucks. Joey Ryan is still the man. And again, I like Ryan more than the average bear. So I'm probably on this first 5 under. I think the Twins win. I don't want to pay the freight, and I worry a bit about the bullpen to get the cover. That said, we've been talking about identifying spots with good pricing on the run line. It's plus 110. I don't know if I'm really buying that. So I think I like Johnson, again, to just be good enough. He doesn't have to be great at all. I think Ryan is going to do his thing and shove the Angels. And man, I love these under 5s. You could, again, let's say this one goes 4-1. I was wrong about Johnson. He gets touched up, and Joey Ryan even gives up a solo shot. 4-1, you feel pretty fortunate to get out with a push. So this is where, books are pushing totals with the weather and the bullpens. I think that might be affecting the F5. And again, I think we just like Johnson a little bit more than everyone else. Next up, Gage, make them want to jump on the bump for the Atleticos. Elephants balancing on beach balls are minus 110 basically both ways on the road. Now, you're not going to get Eric Fetty is getting the bulk. They're going to go with Hudson. They're going to go with Brian Hudson, but he is pretty much a reliever only kind of guy. So I didn't want to put him up. I want to leave the bulk guy up. I think we're going to get more out of Fetty Wap. Let's call it a little more predictive in that. I mean, I guess Hudson's been good. So even let's call it a blank first inning. A's are starting to get their bats back. They haven't hit yet, but they are getting healthy. And I'm really surprised at the line, frankly. Public is starting to, I think they were starting to overcorrect on the White Sox, right? They were correcting. I think they're overcorrecting now. They're okay, but the offense has just been, a little bit on the mass side. Again, I'm trying to avoid all the stats today. I really got to run. I think Jump is the better pitcher. All right, how about a little bit? I think Jump is the better pitcher, better than Fetty, who's been kind of crappy. We like Athletics pitchers on the road. Jump's been phenomenal on the road. And Fetty, again, is just kind of whack. So was just a little bit surprised. And I guess maybe we're giving up a little bit in the are we giving up a little bit in the bullpen? Maybe, yeah, we're giving up a little bit in the bullpen. So what if we called it A's F5 minus 115? That's probably, I'm sorry, minus 118 was what I saw. You might find a 115, but I would just like to be very, very clear. Yeah, I think the A's got this one. I think we have the better team and the much better pitcher. Next up, Cameron Schlittler on the bump for the Yankees. He's, got something stuck in the craw. They're minus 200 favorites, probably with good reason. I don't know. Against Miles Michaelis and the Nats, I don't know what to make of Miles Michaelis anymore. I feel like every time I bet against him, he's pretty much stuck it in our eye. But he's one of these guys who's been terrible as a starter and then very good as a follower or whatever. We're getting two of those today. Michaelis and Bayo, both of them, and are both getting the star team saying fuck it before the break. I mean, Schlittler is awesome, much better than Michaelis. Obviously, the hang-up would have to be the offenses. Nats, very, very good. Yankees, very, very bad. I don't know where you want to go with this. Yankees should, by all means, they should get the cover, right? They should get the 5 and win this one, 5-2, 6-2, 6-3, or maybe the Yankees run 7, 8, 9 runs. But you got to pay juice even for the cover. Not really trying to go there. Yankees team total, for what it's worth, is at 5.5 plus 110. No, thank you. I'm just out on this one. It's just fucking bullshit lines on this one. Sorry, you can tell I got allergies. I'm falling apart. I'm fucking breaking out and shit. I'm dragging my fat fucking withered husk of a carcass over the finish line for the first half, man. I swear, it's a bad Star Wars reference, right? The first one, Phantom Menace, the end of the fucking pod race. That thing has missing pieces and there's bolts flying off. There's smoke coming out of it. But I am determined to get this fucking thing across the fucking finish line, right, mi gente?
What is your profession?
Hopefully putting a size 12 Birkenstock to the chest of the fucking books in front of the endless pit, dead center in the Spartan Square. All right, next up is game 2, Milwaukee and Pitt. I think I might have said Cardinals before. It's Milwaukee and Pitt. We'll cover the doubleheader afterwards. Let's move over. Kyle Freeland against Tyler Mahle. Let me double check that this line is correct. And then if you MFers have smoked it yet, I cannot believe Freeland is facing Mahle and it's only at 8.5. I know San Francisco doesn't really play up. That's not a good excuse to not have this one at 9. That's not a good enough excuse for me. I mean, Freeland is ass and Mahle is ass. Freeland's even bad on the road. Mahle, I guess, has been serviceable at home, but the last 30 is just okay. Carrying tool in this one for me has got to be the Rockies offense. They've been awesome. If they're not striking out, if Mahle is not going to get strikeouts, you should mollywop him. Hey, look what I did there. Hey. Oh. Giants offense has also been serviceable as well. I know they're missing a couple pieces and the lefty stuff is not great, but if you're going to give me pulled fly balls against Kyle Freeland and the combination of these bullpens, I'll take it. But again, the bullpens are hot summer ass Just both of them are so bad. And if I'm not mistaken, San Fran also has the emoji. Now, it's not like a depth emoji, it's a top emoji. Kalian back-to-back 39, Miller back-to-back 34. They're both probably unavailable, and the only two names I would trust to get any kind of outs. If we don't get it early, we should get it late. I love the fact that we don't even have to get to 10, right? If this one goes 09, you got to get to 10. Frankly, I'm a little bit surprised at this line. Let's see if I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Once first pitch goes on, I am like firmly to the over in that one. Next up, Tanner Bybee on the bump for the Guards, bullpen emoji, and a plus 125 dog down in Miami to face Yuri Perez and the mighty Marlins. Yeah, minus 149 probably feels about right. Yuri Perez is fucking awesome, right? This is the prince that was promised. We were waiting for this off of the surgery. He's been fantastic at home, unhittable last 30 days. This looks like the breakout pick that me and Frankie were screaming about for fantasy. Yuri Perez is one of my most rostered pitchers coming into the season. He's been so good as of late. It's starting to drag all the total season stuff up. Now, Bybee is not bad at all, but again, the indicator is not really buying it. If you see the low whip for the +4 ERA, the disciplinary stuff is just whack right now. If you get no strikeouts and no chase, the contact, you got to reduce it. You got to be keeping it down in these. Not 40 fly ball, 43 hard hit, double-digit barrel rate is the reason for the 20 home runs. So you got to like Miami on every phase of the game. The fucking offense is like 2 orders of magnitude better than the Guards. Last 14, last 7, no matter how you slice it. Miami is the better offense right now, bottom line. So I think Miami probably fits into the blend bet. We didn't hit the blend bet. However, right, hold on. Let's do this in a second. Let's just wrap this one up. And again, Cleveland with the pen emoji. Cade Smith, 3 straight, not pitching. Gaddis, 3 straight, not pitching. Holderman, 2 of 3. Sabrowski, 3 of 4, not pitching. I don't know where Cleveland is going to go. I'm not even sure it's mattered. Cleveland bullpen has been like really disappointing. I know the ERA is there. If you've been watching it, you're seeing the fucking recent losses. They've gotten it back together. Listen, Cade Smith is excellent, and they keep going back to him. Good for them. But I am not in love with the Guardians bullpen that I used to be in love with. Maybe that's it, that I'm kind of narrative driving this one. So this one, the total's at 8, which is a little high. If I had to lean a total, it's probably to the under. Though I like Miami, they are the heavy favorite. Their bullpen's been awesome. And we're probably not getting bottom of the 9th frame. So I think there's a case with the model over 3/4 of a run to be made for the Miami run line. Probably getting a nice fucking price on that bad boy. Let me just see if I can get a live one. We got a live one. Plus 140 is absolutely what we're looking for. Now, just briefly to the blend bet. Again, the nuance and the context, right? We do ball knowing. We do spreadsheets. We do hand in the dirt execution, plus the quant, like risk management. It's the fucking literal one-man band shit. Nobody quite doing it like I. Yeah, all the roses, all the props to the Sauce crew. I love them boys. Very honored to be a part, of that Avenger crew. Shout out Kyle and Toasty, Jacob, TVJ, the thighs that don't lies, and the Spoon Man. But again, that's quite a bit of manpower going on. So for as far as a solo ship, I think we're doing pretty good. Blend bets. I normally, right, we've done this before. We've beaten this one to death. Briefly, when you have 2 favorites that you really like, this is my opinion and my assertion. Again, there are other people that tell you just bet everything straight if you have the number. Again, then you just need such a high win rate. Again, 1,000 ways to skin a cat without scratching the asshole. 2 money lines that we both really like, you have to pay a tax by definition. So in the past, I've dialed down the risk, paired them together, and just kind of rolled with it. You can see that would be flawed. You need 2 wins. Winning MLB games is fucking hard. If it wasn't, we would all just bet favorites and make money. Doesn't work that way. So what I've done is, rather than take that same exact risk or even dial down on the pair, I'd be taking the same risk as the initial play, right? If you were going to bet a half unit straight on 2 juiced money lines, that's a full unit risk. I'm taking the same unit risk, right? So we're not over levering at all. We're just kind of getting a little more creative, chopping it into 3. And in the case where we have 2 money lines that we like, right? This is the case. You pair them, bet A, ML1 plus ML2. Bet 2 is run line 1. Bet 3 is run line 2. So yesterday we hit run line 2. And we were able to, you kind of neutralize that disappointment from the Braves. Remember, you always needed both teams to win before, the way this was laid out. And even in the case, well, not if you're betting straight. The I don't know how I put the flattening of catching the run line puts you in a better spot than hitting one of the two juiced money lines. Remember, the payouts on those are fucking terrible in the first place. So I do like the blend bet. I appreciate the feedback, and I think we're gonna keep. I think we keep rolling with this. I think it can work. I like the ability to kind of hedge it out a little bit, and it gives you the ability to roll. Right, we played it the other day and hit all three. Now hitting two money lines is fucking sweet, but hitting all three is even fucking better. Next up, Brian Bellissimo. He's on the bump for the Red Laundry. They're on the road in Queens to face Freddie Got Fingered with his fastball Peralta or something like that. And the Let's Go Mets go. Minus 150 for the Mets. I got this one as bad chalk. Right off the bat, you could smell it by the model. I'd be leaning over or nothing, or maybe like a Mets team total, even though they are at home. I'm not buying the Bayo stuff as a starter. He's also really struggled versus lefties, and like the Ewing and Soto stuff is going to be really difficult for him. So yeah, for me, over or nothing. Again, Peralta, who, listen, this guy is not bad. We're seeing all the worst possible runouts, 4.68 ERA with a 1.42 whip. And it's for all the reasons that you would expect a baked-in inherent floor from a guy that can be wild, doesn't get breaking stuff over, and then gives up a lot of home runs. It's not a great combination. Funny, I've isolated Bayo to just starter only, and he has a north of 10 ERA as a starter. Now, there's no perfect way for me to do this. We're in this age of like mixed utilization. If I put all the totals up, then the per game prop columns are going to be fucked. And I think it actually misframes some of the overall. So I don't know. I wish there was, it's not a perfect world. I just want people to kind of understand. If you were pushing back and well, what about the better side of Bale? I'd be like, it's there, but it hasn't been as a starter, and I think he struggled with lefties no matter what. I might be a little bit worried. Red Sox, I thought they were starting to hit. Maybe it's against lefties. Okay, it's really kind of F7 front-loaded, so I don't want to be like, oh, Red Sox are back. But it does look like they're getting up off the mat. Remember, really sustained downtrends met with kind of spikes is when you want to hit on the, because again, we're not considering Boston a good offense, so you have to hit it while it's there. If you wait too long, it'll be gone. So again, I think we're gonna get the fucking Undertaker here. Oh yes. Yeah, and again, I just don't trust Freddie against anybody. Mets offense has been fucking awesome. I think they absolutely get theirs. Boston bullpen's been really good, and the Mets bullpen, who I think is really good, the season stats will tell you just that, are on the worst 2-week spin of the year. But again, whenever a good bullpen is fully rested, you're in a decent spot to just kind of hit the ground running again. Bullpen stuff, very, very difficult to model. So I do think the Mets win, but I've been trying to pay. And again, Kyle was on this yesterday, the day before yesterday. I was doing my rant about the unders, right? And it led into a conversation about, price movements and how they could and should affect your outlook, assertion, and subsequent execution. Meaning, I had posted a play with a line that was now stale because I give him plays, I go to sleep, I get up, we're on the show, and lines are moving. So the line had moved to a place that I was like, oh, I don't think I'd play it. And he was like, okay, so then you kind of like the other side then. And yeah, little light bulb, my light bulb could be kind of dim sometimes. So it did start to fucking fizzle, When you get the... And I'm thinking, I guess so. And I don't do that enough as far as execution, though I do often talk about bad chalk. And this is kind of like the amalgamation of all of these kind of theories that we're talking about. So whenever I feel like I'm learning something, I like to go big nose and, get it out there. Because again, I think this is the stuff that really resonates with people who listen every day that are really looking to improve their game. Again, this stuff's going to make you a better thinker outside of fucking baseball, And so this is a spot where I don't mean to speak for Kyle, but or Toast, because they both do this. They're both sharp bettors, where they say, all right, so if you're not buying the favorite price, they like the money line, the other side, depending on the price, right? If this was 101, you might say, fuck it. But you're getting plus 123, plus 125. You might say, shit, I like that. I don't pull that trigger enough. I usually want more. I don't want to misframe it like I know better because I'm stupid. Like I'm looking for more, and maybe I shouldn't be. So again, be careful with the Mets chalk. Right, I have defaulted to the favorite. This is why I keep highlighting this stuff. All throughout my past, I've been like, all right, well, I think the Mets are going to win, and I've got, I got less than a quarter of a run, and they're not even below 4. Like, it's not a great signal for the Mets price. And just one last thing, okay, because I got questioned on this the other day. I'm not sure if you could see my mouse cursor on the sharing. I don't think you can. But if you look in the middle and then on the end, there are fair line value columns, okay? That's not my opinion. That's not my opinion. The fair line value is based off the projected win, which is next to it, which is a strictly mathematical calculation off the totals, right? What percentage of the total is each team scoring? That's it. So I get a lot of it too. I'm like, man, the fair line hardly ever matches. Yeah, no fucking shit. Hello, like. And then that's like the big boom, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no shit. The fucking fair line doesn't meet the favorite cost. That's why betting favorites is not profitable in MLB. But people can't help but do it because it's the better team, generally, right? But because of all the variance, everything gets sucked closer together. And that's when a bad bounce or a Cody Clemens fucking, defensive play or whatever kind of throws you off. Just saying. You want to be betting unders. You want to be betting underdogs. Remember, that's how you win this. And if you're going to be betting favorites, I think the pathway to do it is exposing yourself to the run lines where you can get those plus money lines. Because again, that's where I think the money is made. Who else does this shit, Logan Gilbert on the bump for the M's. They're minus 105 in Tampa against fucking Griffin Jacks. I can't believe this, man. And the flat fucking fish of Florida. Minus 114 for the home team. Oh, man. Jacks has been good. He's been really good as a starter. I had to tip the Tampa, another team that we trust with pitching R&D. But it's fucking Logan Gilbert. Like, I have a very soft spot in my heart for Logan Gilbert, and you could see, where he's gotten beat is up in the zone and the home runs. And if anything, the homer to fly ball, it's a little high, but he gets a lot of pop-ups. He has a good fastball, but the stuff plus is down. And he probably throws it a bit too much. I think this is the problem with Gilbert. When I was posting this morning, I had a feeling we were going to be all over Seattle. And now I'm like, man, though, last 30 days, it's, again, the prince that was promised. He's been one of the best road pitchers in the league, which is funny because, I don't know, I think I'm going to get back on Gilbert. He's fucking awesome. And it's not like Jax is bad, but he's not Logan Gilbert. The last 30's good, but Jax's misses have gotten punished, but then in that case, we'd have to rely on Seattle to score American baseball runs. I don't know if they're going to do that for us. Tampa offense is starting to tick down a little bit too. Remember, Caminero is on fire. The rest of the offense is they're not good. I really don't think they're good. I kind of like a Rondo on a per, bat basis or whatever. So maybe this is one of our unders. What's the fucking line in this shit? It's probably 7 at this point. It's a juiced under 7.5. So again, I'm a Vigine. I probably won't fucking bet it. Both of the bullpens have been good. If you could trust any game with an under 7.5, it'd have to be this one. Right? Offenses we don't trust. Pitchers we do. Gilbert can go distance, and we like bullpens. So for me, it's under. We're on under 7.5. I forgot to mark Miami. Miami. If I had to pick, if it's one pick, it's the run line. Right? Go with the plus 140. Though I'm also going to write. I'm going to put blend underneath with mine. Boston, New York was to the over, though I don't think I'm going to end up on that. Frankie boy, if you're listening, show picks, and I think people know that, right? Subs know that, and like I said, it's what matters most. Show picks are just that. The show pick is the best recommended pick from the show. Because Frankie, my boy Frankie told me he tailed me on something, and it wasn't something we bet. Everything we bet is on the bet tab, live ticket, very, very, strictly recorded. The show picks are for people that are skipping the show and want to just see a board read. I think it also helps that. I think if you sign up and this can be overwhelming, I get it. Feel free to hit me up with questions, but that's a good jumping off spot. How to read the algo board when you have the show picks there. Okay, this kind of reads out to this. This kind of reads out to this. So at 7.5, we've got to be, we've got to be on the under. I technically have Seattle modeled for a win, and I guess you could say it's definitionally right, not defaulting to a favorite because they're an underdog, but it's pretty much even, right? You're not getting plus money. Hard to call them an underdog without plus money. That's like a fallacy. All right, who the fuck want what? Next up, Christopher Dirty Sanchez on the bump for the Fighting Phils, minus 135. Favorite on the road against Casey Mize in Detroit Rock City. Man, this one should be really good. Is this one 7.5? This will be another game, but we're what? Without bearing the lead, same exact thing. But they're minus 120, they're minus 125. It gets kind of fucking expensive. I want to really shop the best price. That absolutely matters to me in these spots. I'm not even sure. We're burying the lead to be like, newsflash. Christopher Sanchez is freaking awesome at baseball. But I got the real news flash for people that maybe aren't watching it with the kind of detailed hand that we are. Casey Mize is ridiculously good. And frankly, he just shouldn't be an underdog almost to anybody. He just shouldn't be an underdog. It's not like the Phillies are hitting like that on offense. So part of me likes, man, the F5 total is down at 3.5. So that's funny. That's a signal for a lack of confidence in the bullpens or a lack of depth. Generally, a 3.5 is met with a 7 or a 6.5. It's not a 7.5. So this is going to close at 7, and I think that's the play we want. Mize has been just incredible. Just incredible. Phillies have not hit righties last 2 weeks. You get a little bit of something. I mean, there's talent there, but they're just not very good. They're not very deep. They chase too much. That's an issue. Tigers versus lefties, I'm highlighting it up on the board if you're looking at it. I'd call it a mixed split. There's no power. So they're going to look to piecemeal things together. But, swinging and missing, losing in zone, that's not a great way to go after Sanchez. Now, they do get quite a bit of lift, and that'll be interesting to see. Can he force them down on the ground? Oh, Philly's bullpen's been a disaster. Tigers' bullpen been a little bit of a disaster. So I think, though, given the prices, this is a spot I'm calling bullshit. I'm calling bullshit. We've all been there, but that bullpen sucks. Look, the Twins bullpen fucking sucks too. They didn't give up any runs. They fucking suck, and they didn't give up a single run yesterday. We all know this. I'm more worried about sample size. When we're talking about a guy that we're pretty sure is going to get yoked in the 5th, now we're worried about 6, 7. Most teams can get 8 and 9 if they need to, if rested, of course. So yeah, give me under 7.5. Like this by far. Next up, Noah Cameron on the bump for the Royals with Cheese. They're on the road against Kyle Horse Bradish and the Baltimore Orioles. Baltimore got it done for us yesterday, late in the game. They're starting to click a little bit. I like the bullpen. I've always liked the bats, and the arms starting to go. Right, Young looks good. Bradish is starting to correct. Trevor Rogers is starting to correct. We need to maybe be thinking about some Oriole futures. Where are they sitting right now? Orioles are all the way down at the fucking bottom. I never want to say it's too late when you're 8 games below 500. It just, we've learned that lesson before, right? The Nats run. Was it the Phillies also? I know there's been a few teams that have not been great by the All-Star break that have come and turned it around. The first half stuff is not necessarily predictive because you can add it to the deadline and all that goodness. So maybe it's a little bit caught before the horse for like Orioles division. But I wonder what kind of money you're getting on like an Oriole playoff run. Hold on, I have like a prop shop thing here that I could probably bring it up really quick. Orioles futures. Wow, they're 80-1 to win the East. They're 5-1 to get in the playoffs. That man, we don't do a lot of the playoff thing. Maybe I got Jones in a little bit because we're heading into the break. Now I can't help myself. Hold on. I'm curious where they are in the wild card. Orioles are 3 games out of the wild card, but it's a fucking traffic jam. Twins, Astros, Blue Jays, Boston, and Detroit, with Cleveland, Seattle, and New York up top. 5-1 for Baltimore to get in the playoffs is a good bet. It is. They're better. They're better than those teams. And right now, if the Yankees aren't getting Judge back there, I think they're better than the Yankees. All right, so let's get into this one just briefly. Again, Cameron, who I liked, he flashed. I was hoping this was the correction, but remember, he never had the really great peripherals. You could see struggles across all the splits. He's not been great at home. He's been especially bad last 30 days where Braddis has shined. Baltimore does have the emoji. Kittredge back-to-back, but low count. Wells 2 of 3, but he was off. I think you'll get him. And Garcia 2 of 3. So I had this up because it's 3 of the top 4, but you're not really punishing Baltimore right here. What you think of their bullpen in the first place. That's a little bit of, right, that's a different story. Royals offense has hit, but the disciplinary stuff is ugly, and frankly, I'm not buying it. I wasn't buying it when it was happening, and this is like a trend down. I'd imagine the L7 is, well, the L7 is especially strong, so let me just take that. L. Oh, no, sorry. Wrong fucking effect. Yeah, I got to take that L really quick. They scored in bunches. So again, I got to take the L, but again, the swing and miss is pretty brutal. The elevation basket is brutal. I guess when you have Bobby Witt and Jack Calcs, who looks like a legit baller, I guess that'll play. So I got to take the L there. But the bullpen for the Royals is the worst, right? Just the worst. So maybe the answer is is an over here. That number is set at 9. I was to the under, even with the bullpen thing and heavy favorite at home. I think I would challenge the KC offense. Young shoved him yesterday. I think Bradish is better than him. You could get depth. And I think Baltimore is another kind of blend play. So for me, single play is the run line, not a great price at plus 125. But this one is not defaulting to the favorite. I think we have the better team across the board. And until KC shows they can get outs late, you have to keep hitting them. They coughed it up yesterday. It's like even when the team does come through middle innings, they don't have the answers. And then I just think they have total dead spots at the back of the lineup. So it comes down to a timing thing. But by the time you're down to Lofton and Collins and Maley, maybe fucking Marte, even a guy like Sal Perez just looks like a shell of himself right now. So I'm going to keep riding the Baltimore train. I think they're fucking hot to try. Close out the half well. Next up, Peter Lambert, my boy on the bump for the Stros. He's even money. And I don't think he should be an underdog to Kumar Rocker and the Rangers. I think that's a little bit of a misprice. Lambert's been good. Now, it's not like wipeout stuff. It's not big K stuff. As I kind of scroll slowly, he's the weak ground ball double play guy. We love that shit, right? There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. He's been very good on the road the entire year. He's even picked it up last 30 days, sub 1 whip last 30 days, 17 KBB on a sub 3 expected ERA. Sierra up a touch, but again, I think that's okay. That's the profile we want. Opposed to Rocker, who again has flash, but the floor on a per inning basis is terrible. Single digit. In fact, his walk rate is the same as KBB. That's a loser right there. 24 CSW, 39 ball, 53 first strike, 92 zone contact. I don't think you can get away with that. Right, and the splits versus lefties are rough. I told you Jordan was going to hit a home run yesterday. He did. He probably goes yard again when he starts to fucking heat up. It's like, get the fuck out of the way. He can carry an offense. Reminds me of peak David Ortiz. As a Yankee fan, I saw that up close when he would get those big Dominican fingers and stick them right in the pinstriped coolie. You just knew he was going to kill you. You knew it. It didn't fucking matter. In fact, the bigger the spot, the better he would be. Some people just don't shrink. They don't do the shrinking violet thing. Houston offense is better than the Rangers on the, getting off the bus today. So I think we have the pitching edge. I think we have the hitting edge. And then I feel especially confident that we have a bullpen edge. So let's take the money up. straight up even money on the Stros. I mean, shit, love it, love it. Love to love you, baby. Played at 9 innings. Texas bullpen has been whacked. We were calling that even though we were pitching well. So, as nature heals, like I'm going to lean into that. Next up, Javier Facade on the bump for the Cubbies. They're on the road in Cincinnati to face Paisan Nicky Lodolo. Another fucking misprice. I don't know what is going on with this one. People are still doing the like Lodolo is bad thing. I think that's your problem, not mine. We were talking about this, waiting for the come up, and now it fucking happened. Why would you get away from the? I mean, I'm loving this. That like I've been talking about how good my best ball portfolio is performing. And those are on the back of a lot of Yuri Perez and Nick Lodolo. And they're starting to hit stride going into the second half. Please, one time for the big guy. Yo, one time. I mean, I think everybody here, and we're all bettors, right? You guys are hardly in the best ball streets. Can everybody just fucking root for me to take down the DraftKings fucking jackpot? Oh, that would be so fucking sweet. That would be so fucking sweet. Anyway, Lodolo was a guy that we like coming in. Former first round pick, number 7 overall, that 28 season. We started to see the breakout last year. We were on it for this year. He had the blisters up and down, then had the IL stint up and down. You're not getting any favors pitching in Cincinnati, but now it's here. Like, again, the way that, just briefly, pitchers can change their trajectory on a fucking dime. Arm angle, mound slot, arsenal, grip. Especially when high talent guys hit form again, right? Hit peak form. Yo, believe them. When someone tells you who they are, you just fucking believe them. This is not some scrub it. I mean, not to kill Noah Cameron, but this is not Noah Cameron, right? This isn't, oh man, 2 good starts for Noah Cameron, it's on. 2 good starts for Noah Cameron could be a double bottom. Lodolo just went 4 scoreless, 5 scoreless, 6 gave up 1. 2 games against Milwaukee and Baltimore. There's good sticks up and down those lineups. I don't know why you wouldn't want to be on Lodolo. I guess the Cubbies have hit lefties. Is that what the fucking thing is? Cubs have kind of hit lefties. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't think Facade is very good. I think he's the perfect negative regression candidate. 3.65 ERA with 105 whip. His Sierra is approaching 5. Single digit KBB, 5% swinging strike, sub 23 CSW. Under 25, for what it's worth, is when we want to attack. Too many balls, not enough chases. It's all fucking zone contact. And the Reds are getting it going, right? Aren't the Reds starting to hit a little bit? I guess the L14 is Fugaze. L7, man, I got to take another fucking L. I wonder if those are the 2 teams I can. But being wrong is being wrong, and I'm sorry, so sorry. Shit happens. You know what it is? My guy Sal Stewart is hitting home runs for my fucking fantasy team, and also not to try and bail myself out. Throwing right worse analysis after bad or whatever. Ellie hit a fucking home run yesterday, and rising tide, when superstars start rolling, if Sally and Ellie are going to start hitting, and we saw in the beginning of the year how that happens. Also, Blade was starting to pop. Whenever a name comes up on the hitter sheet, they're doing something good. I think the Reds are getting ready to turn around. I hope this isn't too vibes-based, right? I hope it's not too vibes-based. But, they're starting to take walks and get extra base hits, so it's not like, oh, man, look at this. But I think it's in there. I'm calling BS. Reds bullpen is kind of a fucking adventure. So if we're not buying Assad and we like Lodolo, that F5 would be perfectly prominent, and you're not even paying the tax. I just saw a -101. Oh, okay, let's get that. And then what? If it's tied, we'll take the push. And again, if it was tied after 5, we wouldn't be confident. And let's say you're losing a game with the Reds, after 5, you're going to lose. The bullpen is the worst. I don't know if I trust the Cubbies either, but that's not how I like to play it. I want confidence in my squad. I'd rather just get out with my, ass intact. With my asshole still inside my shorts, not hanging at the bottom. Oh boy. Raylo on the bump for the Bravos, minus 122 on the road against Mr. Freedom, Matty Libertor, and the Cardinals. Minus 122 for the Bravos. I don't know, man. I'm not really buying the Libertor thing. Raylo's actually pitching well. Do you trust the Braves to fucking hit after yesterday? I don't know. It's tough. Their lefty splits have been brutal for quite a while. And the Braves, the Cardinals, excuse me, are fun. But I got the last 14 up, and they're in the tank right now. St. Louis in the tank, the L7 just as bad. So, like, this is like bottoming and going flat. They're going flat bottom right now. Hold on, Tanner. Give me 1 second, brother. So I think I'm on an under here. And being on unders with Libertor, with the, oh my gosh, I don't know if I could do it. I'm looking, I almost got woozy. I got like seasick looking at it. Oh, Raylo's disciplinary stuff is not great either. The under, is it weird to say the under feels sharp? The under feels sharp. The over feels square. And, the model's to the under. I'm having a hard time making the case where I feel strong enough to make the push. Because to me, this feels like mixed signals again. Backing Raylo, backing Libertor, oh man. But needing these teams to score right now has been like passing a goddamn kidney stone. I'm gonna fade it. Again, this feels like the perfect opportunity to go under, and I don't have the fucking balls in my bitch, sometimes. I know some people kind of look up to me and my style, but I'd like to be honest. Next up, Macho Man Trey Savage on the bump for the Bluebirds. They're on the road in San Diego, which for what I understand, means a whale's vagina. Up against Walker Buehler, Texas Ranger, and the Friar Tucks, minus 120 for the home squad. What are the totals here? It's 4 and 8. Again, this is another one. I'm under. I got both teams under 3 3/4. And this one actually is totaled at 8. The offenses are both kind of whack. This one is a little bit easier for me to get under because it's an 8, not 7.5. And again, this just goes to reading the model and how you shouldn't just like, oh, hold on, Tanner. I got you. I saw the pay stuff come through, brother man. Hold on. Paid subscribers always to the front of the line. All right, you're in there like swimwear, kiddo. Right. Be careful. Adding totals, being like, oh, you're technically over or you're technically under. Look at each number individually and where it falls in the distribution curve. However, I have to bet this under or I have to close up shop, right? If I were drawing up a set of parameters, like if I were setting up a model reading kind of like algorithm, like a set of conditionals, one of them for unders absolutely would be both teams under 3 3/4, total 8. You have to, because that's a 4, right? That's a 4-3, and all remember that 10% of games that are going to fucking finish at 6 runs or less. I want to keep thinking about those and mentioning them because they're real and no one talks about them because they're never accounted for in the lines. How many did we get yesterday? Reds and Cubs, Guards and Marlins, Braves and Cardinals, and that's it, just 3. But also, that was what? 3 at, man, maybe it's more than 10%. We didn't get 15 games, we had 3, so 3 out of 13. Do your math. So yeah, I believe in the recent Buehler stuff. I've always liked you, Savage. We just wanted him pitching on like regular rest and getting his, legs under him or whatever. And I think he's been really good last 30 days. He's also been excellent on the road this entire year. And I think he has a ton of arm talent. Buehler's kind of doing the reclamation thing. Don't worry about that crazy ERA of recent. He had that one monster blow up, excuse me. But other than that, he's been fucking awesome. He really has. Again, just recreating himself. Going sinker and that stuff will play. Blue Jays offense is just not impressive. One of the worst splits last 2 weeks versus righties, not just right now, but that we've seen all year. Padres are hitting right now. I'm doing air quotes because this is a high point for them and it's a low point for everyone else. The offense is not good. The Padres bullpen is the biggest mystery in the league right now. Toasty was saying it's injuries, and I do trust him. Blue Jay bullpen's been really good. I'm going to hope that we get some distance to carry the day. Though maybe if this one is a 5, it's not. I mean, the first 5 was 5. I'd go under the 5. But since it's 4.5. Wait a minute. Ooh, that's an interesting one. I kind of caught myself that generally, right? And here, let me flip to the board and I'll let you see what I'm talking about. Finding F5 stuff is difficult. Anyone that plays it knows. Not all of it is up by the time I post. And it's weird. It's just not standardized. So I use the general formula to fill in my F5 columns. If I see something is different, I'll change it. So like right now, I saw that this one was actually 4.5. So then we kind of get the a bet to a signal to the under. If you're not trusting the bullpens. Man, part of me likes the 8. I worry about the ghost runner. But I feel like the value, I think the value's on the first 5 here, right? Under 5 through 5, 5 innings, 5 runs, opposed to 8 runs through 9. But then again, we do have the favorite. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to meditate on that. Again, the 4.5 kind of threw me for a loop. It's on my bookie, and it's minus 108, in case anyone was wondering. So it's not like a strong price. Now, that actually makes me wonder if another part of the solution, because remember, I'm crossing different books. I'm just doing the best I can, building a boat in the middle of the ocean, doing the best I can with what little brain power I've got. And it's making me wonder if, again, I'm just trying to check my bookie full game, and it's fucking stalling out of me right now. You know, I just bring up pages and cite them, so I'm not flipping. No, and my question is answered. So what I was thinking internally was, maybe if the my bookie 4.5 is an answer to an 8.5 on their side, and it's not. It's 4.5, 8. That's what it is, and it's a good 4.5. So I'm sorry, that's gonna be my answer. If it was minus 120, I would have gone under 8. But since it's minus 105, I think you go under the first 5. All right, last but not least, again, I have to take a second look at this. The model is so far to the under, I'm feeling a little bit uncomfortable. I don't know why this game is at 9. I understand the Dodgers are involved in it, and I understand that they're a good offense from what the baseball I've watched in my life on Earth. But Yamamoto is a fucking stud. Fox pitched really well. And the bullpens have been okay. I just feel like this is more like an 8 to 8.5, and it's a hard 9. So I'm either horribly wrong or we have to bet the under. It's one of those two things has to be the case. I'm so far to the under. I'm uncomfortable. I'm not like, oh, stupid books, we're winners. I'm worried. Obviously, someone is not buying what we've seen from Fott, who's looked fantastic since the return. And again, at 9 runs, we don't need him to shove. We hardly need him to be good, because I think Yamamoto, that's what I mean. I think Yamamoto is going to be awesome. Why? Because Yamamoto is fucking awesome. Since the return, Fott went 5 1/3, gave up 1, San Fran. 5 scoreless, no walks at San Diego. And again, Yamamoto is pitching like a Cy Young right now. Are we expecting Arizona, who's not hitting for shit, to shove this guy? I'm not. Diamondbacks bullpen's even been really good the last 2 weeks, so I have to go. Oh, I got unders, and if you've noticed, I have not been betting unders since the ball thing came out, and we bet an under, and I got crushed. So I've been getting away from that since. This is the first time, I think. Again, doesn't even feel like, all right, we're kind of challenging. We're kind of challenging this line to a half run. It's like this, I think, is way off. All right, so that'll do it, everybody. I love you all. Quick stroll through the comments, tiptoe to the window. New You Damn Thief and No Block Sam BE Fireworks. Appreciate you, Trent, my guys. Adonis up in the bitch as always. J Main, baby. B Rose, love to see you. Wouldn't be a show without you, kiddo. The Nose. Frankie Rosario, good to see you, brother. Good to see you back in the piece. Got a new one here. Von Travian Harris. What an awesome name. A+ 80 grade name right there. At the end, can you put up who's your picks? Yeah, we'll run through the picks again right now. People ask that, I forget because I'm not the best host. John, you're not looking at chat. I don't think Bayo got called up. Oh, I saw him listed. So I don't mean to argue. I trust him more. Okay, yeah, it's swapped since then. They moved to Rivera. I'll clean that up before I go. Shit, I have to leave, but I'll get that. So yeah, you're right about that. It was Bayo. It's not. I guess they saw those numbers. They saw those numbers as well. Yeah, Trent, going here. This is my bet. The best advice there is for this weekend. Going easy and light on MLB. Let's not give back the profits and the hard work. Let's not do that. Okay, so actually, I don't usually go back to the board, but let me bring up the scoreboard, and I'm going to read through my show picks. So we had LA and Minnesota were under first half. Worried about the bullpen and the weather. I think the A's win outright as a, even money there. I mean, I guess, what do you call 110 both ways? But anyway, I think A's win outright, but I'm going to cut it the first half because I don't trust the pen. I think the Rockies and the Giants go way over. I think the Marlins kill the guards. I think the Mets and the Red Sox go over. Seattle, Tampa, Philly, Detroit, Arizona, Dodgers, all three unders. Baltimore kills KC. Houston wins outright as an even money dog. I think Cincy wins outright as an even money dog, but I'll probably take that first half. And then we had Toronto and San Diego first half under as well. So that'll do it, everybody. Appreciate you so very much. Press the like button. I think we're right at around 900 YouTube subs, which is, fucking awesome. Really, we've been growing pretty fast considering. Yeah, subscribe, press like, and if you could find it in your heart, I understand it's very difficult to ask for money in this day and age, but I do think I'm providing the value to save you $2 a week. For the people that are just sucking up the free show stuff, maybe you find it in your heart. Maybe I've saved you, $88 worth of value for the year. Remember, you get the last month for free if you sign up. And there's also football stuff. Got crazy stats, rankings, uploadable stuff. We're going to be running another model. Think of it like a mirror image. Time split, advanced data. I've got really great stuff. I mean, the differentials, success rates, EPA, all the things that really matter. Very hard to get for the price that we're giving them. And it comes with the baseball stuff. So I think the value is there for the baseball stuff. And you can look at it, all right, you sign up for the year and you get the football stuff as like a fucking bonus. Or vice versa. I think the football stuff is worth it and the baseball stuff is a bonus. I've had people tell me I should split them, but whatever. No big deal. Again, I want to pitch this to everyone. I want this to not be price cost prohibitive is the word. Books are fucking preying on us. The information war is on. And I think just getting down to your computer with all of this formatted work right off the bat is not only going to speed up your process that day, I think it speeds it up every day. So, all right, let's get out of here. Thanks for picking up what I'm putting down. You just mean the world to me. Enjoy the games, enjoy the day. When we're done with the book, enjoy the pay. And remember, when you work this freaking hard, winning feels a lot less like luck.